Welcome to the first episode and a special on Web3 and solar energy. Renewable energy and the blockchain are two technologies that are changing the world as we speak. The former is a greatly promising way to combat the climate problem while keeping our lights on, and the latter is a technology most of us still know very little about, but whose disruption potential could be unparalleled since the internet. So here's a crazy thought. Why not put the two together? Renewable energy and the blockchain. This is why I want to talk to you about solar energy opportunities with Web3 today. And many of you might say that you have not heard much about Web3 before. So let me throw out some keywords first. The blockchain, smart contracts, NFTs, those are all terms that are native to Web3. So we're going to examine them a little bit closer now and see how they can fit in with solar specifically. We all know that Web2 refers to the version of the internet most of us know today as being run by centralized companies. For example, Facebook owns your data, sells your data, and makes money from them. You can use the service, but you are the product in a way. It is centralized, and just like in the utility business, in the energy business, it is centralized. Web3, on the other hand, refers to decentralized apps that run on the blockchain and give ownership to digital assets to you. So you own your data in Web3. And Web3 is run mostly in a decentralized way. And we have heard decentralized before. Solar energy is also mostly a decentralized technology. So it means that we could have synergies. Next is the blockchain. Let's go back in history. And we find that accounting, commerce, and writing are considered to have given birth to civilization as we know it. And without a ledger or a bookkeeping system, civilization as we know it today would not have been possible. Just imagine a world without taxes. How terrible would that be? But now there's a new ledger called the blockchain in town. In simple terms, a blockchain is a system of recording information in a way that makes it very difficult to change, hack, or cheat that system. It is also transparent for all to see and cannot be changed once written on the blockchain. Imagine a world where statements, numbers, and transactional knowledge gets written down and can be seen by all, but nobody can change those entries. A blockchain is essentially a digital ledger of transactions that is duplicated and distributed across a network of computer systems. But you can also just imagine the blockchain as a supercomputer. So what can you do with such a supercomputer combining it with solar energy? Imagine, for example, an electricity sharing ecosystem that's maintained directly by its consumers in a decentralized way and not by the utility anymore. And all those transactions in this ecosystem happen on the blockchain. Those with solar panels sell electricity or environmental credits through a phone app to residents without direct access to solar panels. Now this entire setup is made possible by the blockchain. Blockchain allows for meters to communicate with one another reliably, with the phone acting as the bidder that gives microgrid consumers the power to control those transactions. But how to tell the supercomputer that he's now in the business of being a decentralized utility for the people? Well, that brings us to smart contracts. Smart contracts are the programs running on the blockchain. So the programs running on those supercomputers. A smart contract is a computer program or a transaction protocol which executes automatically. So you do not need a utility, no notaries or lawyers for the contracts, no enforcing. It is all automatically done by the smart contract that you wrote on the blockchain for all to see and to participate. So you can build a complete peer-to-peer energy trading system within microgrids. And microgrids could work entirely through smart contracts and in ways that you can determine, and then it executes automatically. Now, another question is, how could that all get financed? And how do we know who owns what in that system? And that brings us to the magic of NFTs. What are NFTs? It is called a non-fungible token, which basically means it is non-interchangeable unit of data stored on a blockchain. And it can be sold and it can be traded. Types of NFT could be digital files, such as a photo, a video, or even an audio file. So an NFT can represent a share in a project or even in a whole company. Now, we got a decentralized system where you can own your data, contracts that execute automatically, that you can program with the conditions you need and let other people own parts of it by giving them NFTs so they become part owners of it. That sounds like a hyper-efficient way to structure a project or a company. And you can run it from anywhere. With shareholders all across the globe that want to join in on your vision. As you know, access to finance has been a hugely limiting factor to build more solar in the Sunbelt countries. Well, NFTs could potentially become a very interesting vehicle to fund decentralized solar and hence connecting retail investors from around the world to local projects that do good and are trustworthy. Now, you do not need banks for that, just a program that automatically executes for all to see transparently. So investors can invest and own a share of the project through those NFTs. You might have investors putting down as little as $100, but you can have hundreds or even thousands of them. And if you build your reputation in that sector and your NFT projects are trusted around the globe, you might just never have to think about funding for a project again. Finance solar projects through NFTs is a revolutionary way to connect investors directly to the people that need the electricity or build the systems, and cut out the middlemen, such as banks that want a fat share for just providing the money. And in return, the investors could receive something called a kilowatt-hour token, and those are notarized on the blockchain. And based on the amount of power generated by the solar system, investors would receive a share in form of crypto tokens called kilowatt-hour tokens, and may then redeem their kilowatt-hour tokens for euros or dollars if they so wish. So that is called tokenizing photovoltaic assets. It is allowing investors to purchase shares in PV plants across the world and getting paid automatically executed by the smart contract. Now, again, it is all 100% transparent, but you do need the knowledge how to read, and it would be great if you know how to write smart contracts, because then you can build those programs on the supercomputer and sell shares in your projects as NFTs all on your own. There are so many opportunities combining those two technologies, but let's not get ahead of us. Just consider this, a glimpse of the future where Web3 connects with renewable energy. And that will be all for Web3 and solar today. Now I would like to know from you, do you see opportunities in Web3 and solar? Or what else would you want to learn about to make use of this revolutionary new technology? See you in the next show. Thank you.